Welcome back to SK Lifestyle. Of course, I got something brand new for you guys to check out. This is a 2019 Nissan Titan. Now I'm gonna do a review on the SV. I'm gonna take the Pro4X out for a drive, so you'll get to check out both a little bit. Hopefully you enjoy it. These have a 5.6 liter V8. Yeah, boy. Gotta love those V8s. Looking at a 7-speed automatic, 390 horsepower, and just about 394 pound-feet of torque. This baby can tow over 9,000 pounds. So a truck with these kind of capabilities makes it at the top of my list, and my guess is it's probably making it at the top of your list as well. So with that said, let's check it out. All right, so the front fascia of this truck, I mean, it looks really good. Now, looks aren't everything when you're talking about a truck, but if you can have a really nice looking truck and one that does everything that you need, then why not, right? And I really like the way they've kind of staggered this grille. Just really looks good. Big Nissan badge in the front, Titan stamped on the top. Can't go wrong with it. Of course, you got your big hooks down here in case you need to pull something out or get pulled out. And then the chrome badging or the chrome accenting around it just looks really good. Big lights like every truck has, just really stands out, and I love this. And with that said, let's go head on to the back end of this truck and check out the tailgate. All right, so coming around to the back of the truck, of course we're looking at the SV right here. I'm gonna take the Pro4X out for a drive, but right now for this portion we're looking at the SV, and it's pretty standard as far as trucks go. Lift this open. Nice smooth descent of the back. And this is very light. Sturdy, but it's very light. And I think that's important because it's not going to always be, you know, the same person that purchased the truck that's going to be going into the truck. So people of all sizes and ages and so forth, you want to make sure that they can access this fairly easily, and I think you can do so. Any person could do so. Of course, you got your backup camera right there. You got some ridging all across here in plastic, so you got some grip. Of course, you got your step ups right there, and of course this one does not have the lining on the inside. Definitely got some latch points right there. And if you're looking at the back window, that's manual for this one on the SV. And while we're back here, I'm kind of curious, what do you guys specifically want on the bed of your truck? You know, what's the must-haves in your categories? For me, I definitely think having an outlet in the back so you can plug in anything with like a 12 volt is definitely a plus. Definitely have the bed lights. Of course, you got the lights up there. I definitely think grips as well. You got the step right here though. It's really not too bad. So with that said, let's take a look on the inside of this truck, see what it has to offer. All right, so let's take a look under the hood. Little latch here. And it's pretty much what you expect. I mean, lots of plastic. But there you got the big, nice Nissan V8. Everything's pretty well laid out. You can look at all the statistics. Everything's online, but I just wanted to give you a quick look of what you're looking at under the hood of the Titan. All right, so first thing with the back seats, you can see these doors certainly open up wide enough for just about anybody to get in here. Definitely got the handle right here and another handle right here to climb into. And with the back seat, there's a little tab right at the top. You can fold the seat down if you need to, and you got a little bit of storage right in the back. And of course, the bottom seat also comes up. Now that's a little harder to show you, but there's a little kind of almost like a trunk handle right at the bottom here. And it comes right up, and you see I have about a 4-foot box right underneath, slid all the way in. So you got a little bit of storage there. No real storage compartments, at least on this one, to put anything. You can also see I got my suitcase back there. Not a car, so we can't do the trunk test with the suitcase, but you can tell there's certainly enough room to put a few pieces of luggage back here. All right, so stepping right into this truck. Again, very easy to get right into. Handle right here, handle on the doors, perfectly placed. It just felt really good. It really did. Now that I'm sitting back here, and I haven't moved my seat, so when I pulled up this truck, this is how I was sitting when I drove. There's just an immense amount of room. You can fit anybody back here. I mean, the headroom is immense. The knee, the leg room, ridiculous. So no question, is this a very comfortable vehicle to be in for a long period of time? The back seats definitely have nice little cutouts in them. Fair amount of cushion. There has to be at least about 5 to 6 inches of cushion right here. So it's almost as comfortable as the front seat. And then again, you have all this room, so you definitely can feel good about it. Nice big windows, not gonna feel claustrophobic. Of course, you got the window back here. You got some mat pockets back here. This has the third seat in the front, so you don't have any vents or anything in the back seat. And no USBs as well. You got some map lights up here, and of course your blank handles right there, and that's pretty much it. And you got an armrest with some cup holders, and they got the little lips in them. So my other complaint on the Altima, this is a little better because it can kind of fit just about anything. What I also like about this armrest here is that you can put your arm down and still, like, you still have a little bit of room for your arm, and you can have the cup holders. They're not like this horizontally, so it's just in your way and you got to kind of be on the plastic. You can still have your arm rested and still have your cups right there. And of course, you have your cup holders down here as well. So if I open up the door, you got a pretty decent amount of storage back here. So of course, we got our trusty 1 liter. Let's see how it works out. Oh, fits with no problem. So with that said, I think it's time to move into the front seat, see what my thoughts are from a driving perspective and from the driver's front seat. So let's go. All right, stepping into this truck. Again, same great feeling. Definitely very roomy, very easy to get into, whether you grab the steering wheel or this handle right here. It's just very comfortable. Definitely have a commanding view. A very good position as well, though. I don't think this is going to be much different for somebody going from like a mid-size to a large SUV to this truck. I think it's going to feel very similar. Alright, so quick start up of the car. Of course, you got your push button right down there. Foot on the brake. Pretty standard. I like they got the nice Titan truck in the middle, not just any regular car. And of course, you got your buttons here to manipulate the gauges. Go through your settings. Definitely like that. You can tell the angle of the vehicle and so forth. That's definitely good for off-road. Got your different temp readouts and stuff, and battery, oil. Can definitely see where the power's going into the car, or the truck I should say. SK fail right there. So we're looking at 8.2 miles per gallon so far, but this is only I mean, there's only 14 miles on this truck, so you know, that's not pretty accurate, I would say. Gauges, I can't complain with any Nissan gauges, and these definitely look good for a truck, so I'm all for it. So with that said, now that she's on, let's go ahead and see what she sounds like. is placed just where you kind of want it to be. Volume and control, climate control, very well separated, just like in the Altima and the Pathfinder. You know, your start stop right here, your 2-wheel, 4-wheel, high and low. This one again doesn't have all the features that the Pro4X does, but all the buttons are right here laid out for you, just within a easy touch for whatever you need. The towing modes and that sort of stuff. And of course you got your controls here. Automatic touch for the front. Your lights right here, obviously pretty standard. Auto on off, that sort of thing. Of course this is a regular standard gear lever right here. Of course you got your tow mode right on here and that sort of thing, and it's just very well laid out. So as far as outlets, you definitely have a cigarette plug right here, so you can do like a 12 volt, and you have 2 USBs and an aux right there. Have a little place for like credit cards and change, and cup holders galore. So you got 2 cup holders over here. You have 2 cup holders right in this dash piece right here. You have 2 cup holders down at the bottom here. The one thing I do like is you can flip them up. And I think that's because this is an actual seat. So if you are gonna actually have somebody sitting here, you kind of don't want their feet to be all over their cup holders and stuff. But if they're not there, then hey, you got 2, 4, 6, 8 cups. So while we're at it, let me do the coffee test here. Regular, just large cup of coffee. Sits in there all right. I definitely wish it kind of had the flaps like the back of the car has. It sits in there fine, but it's just like if it had those little 4 flaps, then it would be just a little more snug. They do have a little spot here, and I think that's for like your phone or something. You can set it and rest it here. But of course, everybody just has like the magnetic ones they put up now. So if we go to check our storage down here, pretty adequate. Let's see. Batman fits, so that's always a good sign. Definitely big enough for a tablet or something, not really for any kind of laptop. All right, so I think it's about time for the visor test. I think this could be important, especially for a truck when you're up so high and there's just so much window. So 3, 2, 1. Yeah, there's a pass, and it covers all the way to the back, so that's clutch. Good job, Nissan. All right, so I'm gonna send Rex back here for a minute, let him chill in the back seat. So of course the center storage is not as much as the Pro4X, I believe. I don't believe it has this center seat here. But we're gonna see how Batman fares in this storage anyway. Man, I hope he wasn't in there for long. I mean, these do come out, so I guess Batman could be chilling. But he definitely fits. Definitely a lot more storage than the Altima had, that's for sure. He's probably glad he can kind of stretch out now. But yeah, I definitely think these little removable plate things are key. Can kind of help you sort things out here, but you know, kind of configure it the way you want to. And I don't see any auxiliaries or anything, no USBs in there, just a little place for some change and pencils and that sort of thing. Fairly basic in here for the most part. I'm sorry I wasn't able to show you the Pro4X. That one definitely seemed a lot deeper. But with that said, quick coffee break. I am going to go ahead and lift up this center seat so we can see what it looks like. I don't know, what do you guys think? Here, I'll actually go ahead and sit in it. I mean, honestly, I think it's going to be pretty tight here. I think it's going to be pretty tight here if there was 2 people, you know, 2 other grown men on either side of me. But for a kid, it should be fine. And honestly, because of the knee room, you can actually do pretty well as, like, you know, if you got to haul 6 people somewhere to the work site or something, you can make do with it. I mean, there's plenty of knee room, like I said. You're going to kind of have your legs up here though, so that way your legs aren't where the driver is. So your knees are going to be up kind of high. I mean, that's the only thing as a grown adult. The seat is obviously a little bit hard. I doubt you're going to be wanting to do like a long road trip like that. But hey, again, it's just that usability. And also, I mean, you look at it, it's just one flip. Oh, so there is actually more storage under here. Let me see if Batman can fit in here. Well, he's definitely going to suffocate for sure, but that's pretty cool. I like that kind of idea. So even though there's not as much storage up top, they still tried to think and made the little bit use that they could out of this extra little space here. So let's see how easy it is to get this seat to go back. There's just a little latch here, and you're back down. So I'd probably want the more storage in here and so forth. But honestly, at the same time, that is pretty nifty. So I'm one that always likes something that is usable, that has different features and so forth, you know, different uses out of something. So I like that. All right, so we're in the Nissan Titan Pro4X and about to go for a ride. So let's do this thing. Oh, I love the down low grunt. Has a good sound to it. Definitely a lot of torque, that's for sure. Oh man, that just sounds great. Nothing like a V8. I like it. It's a good middle ground, especially people coming from like a lot of SUVs and stuff. You know, I definitely don't feel as high up as like I do in my box truck and that sort of thing. And you know, that can definitely be a good thing. Again, especially people coming over from a lot of SUVs. I'm just kind of cruising right now, doing about 45. And the engine's honestly silent. I mean, as soon as I lay into it, you can hear that V8 start to roar. I love that. Oh, it sounds great. But yeah, kind of just cruising here, and you know, you can really have the family in here. You don't feel like you're in one of those old trucks and it's just loud all the time. You can definitely put some miles on this, go on a trip and feel comfortable. I mean, again, Nissan, the seats, and look at them. I mean, the seats look really cool and they feel great too. It's not just a look. These are really great feeling seats. You can do some time. You can get some miles on this, go on a trip and be comfortable. All right, we're gonna do a very unscientific 0 to 60 here, going uphill too. That's uphill. The steering wheel has a little bit of sportiness to it. Not the flat bottom like the Altima, but I wouldn't really expect that in here, nor would I kind of want it. But it's just enough sporty that, you know, you kind of feel good, especially like with the Pro model. Had to test out the stereo real quick, you know. Not the most important thing, but hey, I want to know what it sounds like. It sounds pretty good, actually. This very much feels like a truck that just about anybody can just hop in and start to drive right away. Especially if you're used to SUVs. I mean, I can tell I got a lot of power with me right now, but it's so manageable. It's so controllable. Yeah, I might as well just have a truck too. And we can have a sedan, we can have an SUV, and when we need to, we have a truck to do all the things that we need to. Trips to Home Depot, you know what I mean? Putting some toys in the back. Maybe I'll get a quad, you never know. SK Lifestyle, you know how I like to do. So yeah, I'm in the market for one very soon. Not just quite yet, but soon. And so not only do I want to review this because it's a popular model for Nissan, and trucks are just flying off the lots everywhere, but also it's kind of important to me to kind of get an idea of what they really have to offer in the truck lineup. And you know, so far the way it feels, I mean, this is definitely doable. I mean, the windows in this thing are massive. Really, anywhere I'm looking. Oh, Maybach. Wow, you don't see those too often. Murdered out too, huh? But yeah, I mean, the windows are massive. The back window is huge. I have no problem seeing anywhere, honestly. I wish I had my camper with me. I'd test out this tow mode here, but I'm sure it works pretty well. I know the tow mode in the Pathfinder does, so I can only imagine, you know, what this thing can do. Coming up on a fairly steep hill here, you probably see it. You might be able to see it through the window as I go up, but let's just see how it feels. Oh man, this thing is great. It just hauls up the road. No problems. It tracks really good. It definitely does. The steering is a lot more precise than I actually expected it to be, just for such a large truck. I mean, if the steering is not pinpoint like a Lamborghini, but you know, it's definitely really good. Even going through the hills, windy hills, up and down, and yeah, just it goes right where you want it. There's not a lot of play going on there. So there's no denying that this truck has some competition out there. I mean, everybody has, you know, their high-end performance model out there. Again, trucks are just flying off the lot. So this definitely has a lot to stack up to. So I have to say, I mean, I haven't been out test driving other trucks yet for my own purposes. You know, obviously when I do, I will compare them to this, being the first newer truck that I've driven in a while. But I am impressed with this thing. Because the other thing is, I know, at least for myself, I want a good middle ground. I want great towing capacity. I want to have great storage and some good capabilities on the outside. You know, I want the bed to be able to perform and hold up, and I want some tires that can kind of go more than just on a cement path. You know what I mean? Like, it's a truck. It should be able to do some things. At the same time, I also want a vehicle that we can go on a long trip with. I don't want to be able to tow a lot and then it's just very uncomfortable to get where I'm going, especially if it's, you know, a few hundred miles away or more. So just in the time that I've been driving this truck, I can definitely tell that I can definitely take a trip with this thing and be comfortable. And I think that with its towing capacity, you know, with its comfortability, with some of the features, I mean, obviously you got the navigation and so forth in here, you know, great maps like I've been talking about. And this is the kind of truck too that I would have no problem handing off to my wife, because I know she would be able to hop right in and feel comfortable with it. You know, it wouldn't, I don't think it would be that much of a difference for her from our Pathfinder. And that's a great thing, you know what I mean? Because I know there's going to be times where maybe it's a girls' weekend. She wants to take the camper, you know, with the girls or something, or, you know, whatever it is. She may want to take the truck. And, you know, if it's a truck that is so high off the ground she can't really reach, and, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, it's all over the place, or it doesn't really drive smoothly, she's not going to really want it. And then, you know, we'll still have a truck that can do things, but I want something that, again, has that middle ground. So I definitely think this is checking a lot of those kind of boxes. And the interior feels really nice. Like, while I'm sitting in here, I may have gone over before, but now that I'm driving, like, you know what I mean? I do feel good about the way it looks and the way it feels in here. Obviously, truck's performance is more important than, you know, how it actually looks, but, you know, I feel like I'm in a good vehicle. I feel like I have some quality around me. I have some, you know, nice amenities around me. That's not a bad thing either. Wind noise, is fair. I mean, it is a truck. It's not super aerodynamic, but I think for being a truck, I mean, I'm going about 50 right now, and the wind noise is certainly manageable. I can't complain at all. Wrapping up the driving portion of this Nissan Titan, and boy, does the name really mean something now that I've been in it for a little while. They've started the bar real high, for me at least, in regards to looking for a truck. I mean, look at that tight.
Turn right after 4 miles onto CT 74.
That was a much tighter turn than 90 degrees, and it had no problem doing it. I mean, it's just versatile, it's capable. I mean, for such a large truck, it's comfortable to drive. I'm impressed. Just from the standpoint of wanting a truck and knowing some of the things that I want out of it, I can definitely say that this ticks a lot of boxes that I want in a truck. 0 to 60, let's go. Again, uphill. But it gets up to speed with no problem. And you hear that thing? I hope it picks up on the mic. Oh. Now, that's the first time my blind spot monitoring came on. Perfect. Got a little beep. Saw it flash right there in my mirror for me. Yeah. Driver assistance tech, even in a truck, is clutch. Now I can see everything, but you know, people are merging. Gives you that extra half a second to react and do what you need to do. So I definitely can appreciate that. I'm going a decent speed, keeping up with traffic here, and it's comfortable. It really is. It's still tracking really well. Now I went down a little valley and coming up. But you can see it was tracking really well, even for a truck, like no problem. It feels good. Yeah, it was definitely a good idea to come on the highway. Yeah, I planned that all along. Passing power is immense. Let me just say that. That's for sure. And even going at speed, I'm gonna brake kind of hard right now just to see. Yeah, works really good. Works really good. So SK fail, I had the mic sitting right there next to me. I'm sure it still picked up everything really well. Hopefully it did, and it wasn't all scrambled from me like bumping it or something. Hey, GoPro problems, man. It's not easy running a channel. It's not. There's so many things to remember and keep track of and do. Yep, that is the life of a YouTuber. Hashtag subscribe to SK Lifestyle. Help me get to that 1,000 mark. Really do appreciate it. And hit that notification bell as well. You know, get notified every time that I release a new video. There's going to be a lot of them coming this spring and summer, that's for sure, and you don't want to miss it. I'm glad that I took this out so soon, because again, I'm going to be in the market for a truck soon, and this really set the bar high. It really did. Good old Manchester City Nissan. Make sure you check them out. Reach out to my guy, Armand Cano. He's a great rep here. We've done some business, my family, with Manchester Nissan, a fair bit of business already in the past year or two. They're great people, and you really want to go in there, talk to one of their associates, take one of these great vehicles out for a drive. I really think you're gonna love it. I was talking to a guy, he came over to me while I was messing with my GoPro stuff, and we're just talking, and he's looking for a new SUV, but possibly a truck. And you know, I think he's going to be coming back real soon, and Armand's going to show him one of these Pathfinders and one of these Titans. You know, I told him I can't say enough about the Pathfinder, but after this, I wish I drove this already so I could tell him how great this thing was. SK lifestyle.